This is Jarrod Horak. Welcome to my latest Road to the 2023 Kentucky Derby video. And in this video, I'm going to do analysis of the Jeff Ruby Stakes at Turfway Park for Saturday, March 25th. And stay tuned to the end of this video. I'm going to give out a bonus of free selection on the Road to the 2023 Kentucky Oaks, the Bourbonette Oaks at Turfway Park. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment if you like these Oaks and Derby videos. I got some more this week, and I got some more next week and then the week after, as we're getting more serious on the road to the Oaks and Derby as we get closer to the first Saturday in May. Now, if you're interested in my annual Triple Crown Series full cards of Kentucky Derby Day, Preakness Day, Belmont Stakes Day, you'll find those full cards later this spring at the runawayhorse.com on my sales page. You can go over to my sales page and you'll see some details on the products that I will be covering this spring for the Triple Crown Series. Now let's get into the analysis of this video. 12th race at Turfway Park. It's going to be the Grade 3 Jeff Ruby Stakes for March 25th. $700,000 race, 3-year-olds on the all-weather surface, and this mile and an eighth race is scheduled for 6:25 p.m. Eastern Time, and we have a surface switcher as the morning line favorite, number 1, Major Dude for trainer Todd Pletcher. This is a $550,000 son of Bolt Doro, and he's run 7 times with 3 wins, a second and a third. Began his career at Monmouth Park last summer with a stalk and pounce victory at 5 furlongs on dirt. Grade 3 Sanford Stakes, he was 6th in a 12-horse field. Sapling Stakes, he stretched out in his third start. He battled on the pace. He finished 3rd, beaten 7 lengths. In his next start, they moved him over to the turf course, and he caught a yielding turf in the Grade 2 Pilgrim Stakes, and he liked that soft turf. He stalked from 3rd, and he won that one by a length. They ran him in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf, and from post 13, he was really hung out to dry that day, and he was stalking the pace, and he finished 9th, beaten a little more than 3 lengths. In his next start, he was the even money favorite in the Dania Beach Stakes at 1 mile on turf at Gulfstream Park on January 7th, and he stalked the pace, and he finished 2nd in that race. He bounced back as the favorite in the Grade 3 Kitten's Joy Stakes at 1 mile and a 16th on good turf at Gulfstream Park on February 4th, sat in mid-pack, won by a length and a half in an 8-horse field. The show finisher was the next out winner. So now Major Dude's been freshened. They're going to give him a shot to get a spot in the Kentucky Derby. And I would expect that he's going to save ground, stalking the pace under Irad Ortiz Jr., his winning rider. Good jockey trainer team, Pletcher and Irad Ortiz Jr. Number 2, Scoobie Quando was my top choice in the John Bataglia Memorial last time, and he ran an okay race. And he always was thought to be a good one because in his career debut was a stakes race, the Turfway Preview Stakes. So he debuted in a stakes race, $125,000 race, 6.5 furlongs on January 7th, and he won that race as the favorite. It was only a 5-horse field. Added Lasik second time out. He ended up finishing 2nd in an optional claiming race. Not a bad effort there from post 10 in a 10-horse field. He was reluctant to load. He was racing wide. Solid enough effort. He lost Lasik in the John Bataglia Memorial. Congruent won that one. He had a wide closing trip. Scoobie Quando was trying to rally. He was in a bit of traffic towards the inside, and when he was finally able to get nice clear sailing, he ran on nicely to finish 2nd. It's at 15-1 morning line. I can definitely, he can be used in the exotics, I think. Number 3, Event Detail. This one is a City of Light colt for trainer Paulo Lobo. He's adding blinkers for this spot. But he's one that he ran his best 2 races at Turfway Park, but he had Lasix in those races. His maiden race on January 1st, where he finished 2nd, rallying from off the pace, then his maiden victory on January 27th. In the Rebel Stakes, he lost Lasix, wet track. He was 10th, beaten 18 lengths. I think we can excuse that one. Blinkers on, $600,000 purchase, good, decent local form, but can he run without Lasix? We're going to find out in this spot. The next one in line is Funtastic again. This one is a Wesley Ward trainee, and he's dangerous when he can get to the lead because the 3 times he got to the lead, he went wire to wire. Saratoga in an off-the-turf race. He smoked him in his maiden win, 2nd time out last August. His next start in the British Futurity, he didn't get close to the lead. He was 9th, beaten 15 lengths. And then his career debut, actually, go back to that one, he was 3rd early, and he treated to finish 7th. He got the lead in his last 2 starts, and he went wire to wire. Both at Turfway, both 1-mile races, optional claiming race on December 2nd. Won by 5 lengths. He was the favorite. Leonida Stakes, last time out, January 21st, got to the front, easy win by almost 4 lengths. So he's one that I think if he can get to the front, he could be dangerous, but there are some other horses that are capable of showing speed. We'll just have to see if they end up doing that. Maker's Candy is one of those horses that could show speed. He pressed and won nicely against New York Bred Company in a 1-turn mile at Aqueduct on January 28th, breaking his maiden by more than 6 lengths. And then the Gander Stakes against New York Breds, a 1-turn mile at Aqueduct last time. He pressed, he took the lead. He won by a length and a half, but he was placed second through disqualification. So this Twirling Candy colt for trainer Mike Maker gets Umberto Rispoli to ride this time. The rider from California is going to ride this one. And look for this horse to try to get involved early, but he's going to have to pick up his game. Baby Billy is next, and he's 30-1 morning line. This one is a gelded son of Gormley, and he's run well in 4 of his 5 lifetime starts. He loses Lasix, and he puts blinkers back on in this spot. He was close second, beaten ahead in his first 2 starts. His third start, he ended up finishing third, rallying from off the pace at Gulfstream Park at 6.5 furlongs. The Mucho Macho Man Stakes, he was a maiden, and he finished 8th in that 11-horse field, and then back to maiden company in a 1 1/8 turf route at Gulfstream Park on February 18th, and he rallied and he won by a head. But he did have Lasix there. He loses it here, puts blinkers back on. He's going to try to get involved late. He's going to have to run faster. Bluebirds Over is another one that could impact the pace for trainer Safi Joseph Jr. He was pressing the pace and pulling well clear in his 1.70-yard all-weather debut at Gulfstream last November, and he won by 8 lengths that day. His second career start, he added Lasix. He won the Gray Stakes at Woodbine, a 1.1/16, a grade 3. And that all-weather race, he took the lead, he lost the lead, he regained the lead, and he won by a length and a half. He lost Lasix in the Colonel Liam Stakes last time out at Gulfstream Park. His first start since November, and that was on March 4th of this year, and he set the pace and he weakened to finish 5th, beating 2 lengths in an 8-horse field. So look for him to try to get involved early, second start after a layoff, and he's 2 for 2 on all-weather ground. So the surface is not going to give him any troubles. Congruent is the 8, and he's 5-1. Sonny Leone is going to ride him back for trainer Antonio Sano, and he won the John Battaglia Memorial last time, switching over to all-weather ground. He's run a bunch of races. He's run 9 times. He's had 3 wins, 2 third-place finishes. He's run in some stakes races. He won the Laurel Futurity last year in the slop at Laurel Park last October. The Breeders' Cup Juvenile, he was 8th, beaten 21 lengths. In the Pulpit Stakes on turf at Gulfstream Park late last year, he was 3rd. The Dania Beach Stakes, Major Dude was 2nd, he was 4th. In the Kitten's Joy, Major Dude was 1st, he was 6th. And then the John Battaglia Memorial, post 12, big wide run, going last to first, win going away by more than 3.5 lengths. And he beat Scoobie Quando that day, who's also in this race. So they paid $350,000 for this son of Tappet, and if he can duplicate that last race coming back in 3 weeks, certainly going to be a threat to finish somewhere in the top 3. Escapologist is next for trainer Kenny McPeak. This is the son of Good Magic. He's 1 for 6 lifetime, and that win was in his 6th lifetime start, 1.1 miles on the turf. That was at Fairgrounds on March 1st, and he stalked the pace, and he won a nice win there, but his speed rating doesn't match up with these, and he's going to run on all-weather ground for the first time. He's a 30-1 long shot, and he's going to have to run much faster. Two Phils is next, and he's 7-2 morning line. He's interesting if he can handle the footing. It's kind of the question on some of these, just like Major Dude. For Two Phils, all his races have been on dirt. He wasn't a big threat in his career debut, but then he had back-to-back wins, Colonial Downs and a maiden win last July at 6 furlongs on dirt, followed by a little stakes victory, a $50,000 stakes race at Canterbury Downs, where he pressed and he won by almost 10 lengths. The Breeders' Futurity, he was out in post 12. He was really wide, and he just wasn't able to run his race, and he ended up finishing 7th in a 14-horse field. Your 2-year-old champion Forte won that one, and he was 69-1 that day, so he wasn't expected to run well. The Street Scent Stakes, he caught the slop, no problem there. He stalked, and he won by more than 5. The Le Comte Stakes, he ended up finishing a decent second behind Instant Coffee, and he defeated Next Out winner Confidence Game. He was more than 5 lengths in front of that one. Confidence Game came back and won the Rebel. And then Two Phils came back in the Risen Star, and he ended up finishing from post 10 an okay third. Angel of Empire and Sun Thunder were 1-2. So two fills, if he can handle the footing, this son of hard spun, certainly a threat to be in the trifecta. Wadsworth is number 11 for trainer Brad Cox, and all-weather ground has certainly been good to him. His career debut, 7 furlongs on the main track at Saratoga. He was 6th, beaten 19. His second start at Churchill on dirt, 5th, beaten 7. Next start at Keeneland, 4th, beaten 11. So he's one that really didn't like dirt that much in his first 3 starts. But then they shipped him to Turfway Park, gave him a little bit of time off, a 1-mile maiden race on December 31st. He got to the front from the inside post, and he won by 10 lengths. He looked like a different horse that day. And then in his last start, optional claiming race at Turfway at 1 mile, post 6 in a 10-horse field. He didn't have a good start. He was 6th early. Didn't matter. He was able to rally for the win, won by more than 2 lengths, defeating Scoobie Quando, your John Medaglia Memorial runner-up. And he added Lasix that day. He does lose Lasix in his 3rd start after a layoff. But this Brad Cox trainee, we know that he likes this surface, and he's versatile as well. Point Proven is next. He's number 12 for trainer Todd Pletcher. This one is a son of Gun Runner, and he's run 5 times with a win in 2/3. He was nowhere in his career debut at Saratoga. Aqueduct second time out, a 1-turn mile, much better effort, finishing 3rd, adding blinkers. His next start, a mile and an 1/8 at Churchill. He won by 5, stalking the pace. And then in back-to-back optional claiming races at Tampa Bay, he was 4th, beaten 8 lengths. And then as the favorite that day. And then last time out, Gulfstream Park in a mile and an 1/8. He was an okay 3rd in a 6-horse field. So I don't know that the distance is a huge problem. They paid $675,000 for this one. Don't love the post. Johnny V rides. Wide stalking trip is almost certain in this spot. So looking at this race, surely Major Dude can win, Congruent can win, and Two Fills can win, obviously. Scoobie Quando, I liked him last time. I like him maybe to hit the board in here. I'm going to go with the 11 Wadsworth for trainer Brad Cox. Just taking a shot that this one just loves synthetic, and he's really on the improve, and that he can jump up and win a stakes race. Really looked good in those last 2 1-mile races. I like that he wired the field, a couple starts back, and then last time out, he was able to rally from off the pace. So they have options. Corey Lannery is 2 for 2 with him, and maybe he's this good. Worth taking a shot at 8-1. So Wadsworth, my top choice. Major Dude, my second choice. We'll make a win wager on number 11, Wadsworth. Exacta box, 111. Trifecta, 111, 1, 2, 8, 10, 11, 1, 2, 8, 10, 11. So I'm throwing Scoobie Quando, Congruent, and Two Fills in that 2nd and 3rd spot. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment again if you like this content. And then a quick pick I'm going to give out in the Bourbonette Oaks. And I think this race definitely also goes through Brad Cox. Botanical, certainly the one to win, to beat in here. She's another one getting to all-weather ground. She loved it in her last 3 starts. She's number 5 in this race. And in November at Turfway Park, she romped by 10 lengths. And then she came back and she won an optional claiming race by 4 lengths. They took blinkers. They took Lasix off in the Cincinnati Trophy last time. She dominated that one when she got a lot of pace help. She was the favorite in all of those races. She's the favorite again. Chris Landeros is going to ride her back, and she's certainly the one to beat. And in this Bourbonette Oaks, which is race 11 on Saturday, I'm going to go with her stablemate, number 8, Flashy Gem, as my top choice, because she's another one that's really in good form, and she's improving her speed ratings, and she's lately raced a daughter of Bolt d'Oro, and I think that she can jump up there and get the job done here. 4th in her career debut at Ellis Park in a turf route. 2nd time out, dominated going wire to wire at Ellis Park on turf. And then she was off from August to February. She came to Turfway Park, optional claiming race. She dominated that one by 6 lengths. She was geared down, very easy win as the favorite, and she did add Lasix. She does lose Lasix in here, but that shouldn't be an issue. She broke her maiden easily without Lasix. So Flashy Gem, she does meet other speed, but maybe she doesn't even need to lead. We'll find out. But she's going to offer more value than her stablemate Botanical, who's coming back in 3 weeks after a career top, where Flashy Gem has better race spacing. So Turfway race 11, Bourbonette Oaks, Kentucky Oaks points race, number 8, Flashy Gem, my top choice. Make a win wager on her. Play an exacta box with Botanical. That's 5 and 8. Trifecta 5, 8, 1, 2, 5, 8, 11, 1, 2, 5, 8, 11. I'm also going to throw in all-weather stakes horse Renegade Rebel. Won a stakes race at Woodbine last year. Number 2, Bolivie, an overseas shipper. And number 11, AG Bullet, a turf route stakes winner at Santa Anita last time out. So those are the horses that I like in the Bourbonette Oaks, and I gave out my Jeff Ruby Stakes picks as well. And then check out my Fairgrounds videos. I did the Fairgrounds Oaks, and then I also did the Louisiana Derby. So those are the videos I've done so far this week. I got some videos from Sunland coming up, all the races on the Oaks and Derby Trail, all on my YouTube channel. And until I see you next time, good luck at the races.